back to the Zero to Here podcast. I am your host, Denny Dumas. Producer Carl, what's going on?
How are you, Denny?
I'm doing very well. We tonight we are gonna do something a little different, which I'm excited about. Our planned guest, who was supposed to come tonight, just had some stuff come up with work, so she couldn't make it, which I highly respect, by the way. Work is more important than podcasting. But so Carl and I decided that we're going to do a little Q&A. And I hopefully long-term would like this to lead into some listener Q&A. I would love to hear your feedback on anything that you've listened to thus far. And I think that would be a cool little way to throw in an episode maybe once a month or once every couple weeks with a few questions from people who are listening to the podcast. So Carl's just kind of put together a little list, and I literally have no idea what I'm walking into here, but we're just going to roll with it and see what happens.
All right, let's start off easy with the first question.
Easy, all right.
So what is your favorite dish at your go-to restaurant?
Oh my God, I could talk about this for hours. I am really, I'd say my favorite, I can't say favorite. I have so many favorite foods. I'd say one of my favorite foods is Italian food. I love pasta. I love a good thin crust pizza that is cooked in one of those like crazy
stone
ovens that is in there literally for like 45 seconds because it's so hot. Favorite dish? Man, that is hard. I used to go to Italian Kitchen downtown, but since it's moved, it's not as good as it used to be.
Really? It's different?
It's not as good. No, the menu's different. There was this pasta that was chicken, sun-dried tomatoes, peas, and like this white kind of creamy, kind of not creamy sauce.
I'm so hungry.
That was like next level. So good. So that was up there. I mean, I love pizza too. So I'd say I haven't explored all the pizza options in Vancouver, and there's a few that I really want to try. But one of my favorites is Marcello's on Commercial Drive. Mm-hmm. And they have a pizza called the Contadina, which is prosciutto, mushrooms, green peppers, and something else.
That sounds amazing.
Like thin crust, like crunchy black chard on the bottom. That is so good.
Made by an old Italian man?
Probably designed by an old Italian man, but now they're all like 16 to 18 year olds that are working there. And then, I don't know, I go through little phases of what type of food I like. Often there's like sushi thrown in the mix. Thai food I love. Indian food is so good. And there's this really good place by Metrotown that delivers to my house. I live by Brentwood Mall.
Hell yeah.
It's called Saffron, and it is dynamite. Butter chicken there is out of this world. And I only ever eat red meat, like steaks, at real steakhouses.
Right.
So it's not very often. I'd say maybe like 3 or 4 times a year I'll go to like a legit steakhouse. But the experience and the quality of the food there is like top.
You can't compare.
Next level.
Yeah, no.
So you can't go to like a Cactus Club and order a steak, and then the next day go to like a Morton's or like a Gotham or a High's. It's like a completely different world. Yeah. I don't know if I answered that question.
No, it's perfect.
I gave like 37 different items, but I don't have one. I love food so much, and I really enjoy like the whole experience of going out and how much better someone at these like really good restaurants can do something that I can do.
Oh yeah. All right, next question. So this is so I just want to hear about your best day or the most successful day you've ever had at work, followed by your absolutely worst day at work.
Man, okay. I'd say probably my best day. Wow. There was a day in 2016 where I had 2 listings that were looking at offers and a buyer win a multiple offer situation in East Vancouver. So that was the first day in my career, and for whatever reason this day sticks out. I'm sure that I've had other good days in the last couple of years, but this is 2016. 2 properties in New Westminster that were looking at offers, both got multiple offers, and a buyer was successful on their 4th written offer, subject free, way above asking. And so that was my first big 3-house day. And so that was, I think it was 3.3 million in sales in literally 2 hours.
Woo.
That was a night that I had a bottle of wine. It was a pretty awesome
celebratory night.
Oh, it was so much fun. It was because 26, and it was early in 2016. 2016 was the turning point of the market where it went from like a normal, steady market to insanity in a very short period of time. Like within a month, it was like normal to like, holy shit, every listing is getting 6 to 8 offers. Now you're adjusting and being like, how can I get more money for the seller? And so that I remember that day very clearly, early in 2016, 3 big deals, all over $1 million within 2 hours. And that was pretty fun.
What about your worst day?
Worst day.
We're just like nothing worked out. Maybe you were expecting a deal, but just it didn't go through.
There's probably a lot. For whatever reason, the one that is coming to mind right now. Oh, actually, this one. So this was the first listing I had ever gained by myself. So I had a few kind of trickle down effect from Jamie that I've worked with condos. I got a listing in Kitts, like Fairview area, of a townhouse, really nicely renovated, 3-bedroom, overlooking like Science World, downtown, water, beautiful view. My recommendation of a list price was much lower than what the seller wanted. And being new into the industry, I said, okay, let's take it at your number. Let's see how it works. And if it doesn't work, if it doesn't sell in a month, let's talk about price point. So I took it, had some really busy open houses, had an offer early that wasn't very good because the list price was just too high. And after 45 days on market, the sellers decided to cancel it with the understanding that I was going to be relisting it at the number that I had suggested at the beginning, which was $999. I find out 3 days later because it lists on MLS, not because they
Contacted you?
Didn't tell us. I found out that it lists on MLS, which is pretty soul crushing early in your career, especially thinking that you did every single thing right throughout that whole listing. So that day that I found out that they listed with someone else was pretty soul crushing at the number that I had suggested from the very beginning. Sold in 3 days.
Are you serious?
3 days.
So you said they took your advice, went with someone else, and got the deal done?
3 days.
That's frustrating.
And if that happens to me now, first of all, I probably wouldn't have taken it because it was a lot higher than I knew the property was worth. But because I was early in my career, I wanted the opportunity. If that happens to me now, it doesn't affect me as much. But because it was so early,
it's your everything.
It was soul crushing.
Next question.
Yeah, let's move on. I'm starting to tear up here.
All right. What's something that you used to believe but no longer believe in?
Man, that's an excellent question, Carl. For whatever. Oh, so I used to believe, and probably my experience in real estate has altered my opinion on this. I used to believe that years experience results in knowledge, results in expertise. And I have very quickly in the real estate world found out that that is literally the opposite.
Any specifics?
Yes. Very specific. No, there are some fantastic people that have been in our industry for 30, 40 plus years. Some that we work really close with in New West. There are others that are, and it's not really their fault, but they're just so outdated with technology and how the world works that they're struggling to even work in this environment. Like the environment is so different than it was in 1973.
Oh, I could imagine. Yeah.
There was no computers. There was no internet. Everything was on binders. Something I heard recently, actually, Carl, is, and to me, the name of the brokerage that you're with means absolutely nothing. So whether you're with Remax, Sutton, Keller Williams, it doesn't matter. The brokerage means nothing. It's the individual that you're hiring, their marketing plan, and how big their reach is. How many people can they put your listing in front of to sell your home? That's what it is. It's a marketing plan. You're marketing someone's biggest asset. Before the internet, the brokerage meant a lot, because if there was more agents in the brokerage, so this is how they marketed listings. They had a binder. They had a binder in your brokerage, in your office, with the listings of every agent in your office. So the more people in your office, the more listings you could look at to show your buyers.
Makes sense.
That doesn't exist anymore, ladies and gentlemen. There's no binders. Thank God. Because how fucking long would that take?
That'd be awful.
To scroll through 37,000
you have to go to a location
listings trying to find a 2-bedroom condo, just like scrolling.
Jesus.
Oh my God. So I'd say that is the biggest thing that I used to think. I used to think that the longer you were doing something, the more you knew about it. And now I've completely altered that mindset to the harder you work, the more knowledge, the better you will be at something, not the amount of time that you have been in an industry.
That's very good. Ready? Next one?
Let's do it.
All right. This is I'm interested in how you're going to answer this.
Okay.
Which guest on a Zero to Here podcast has surprised you the most? Whether it's maybe something you didn't know about them or...
I'm going to pick 2 people if that's okay. So my first is going to be Steve Ennis. The reason that he was surprising to me is partially because I didn't know him as well as I do now. And in the situations that I have been in, in social situations that I've been in with him, there's been more than just the 2 of us there. And we haven't really been able to connect as much as we have now. And his insight, the way that he thinks about business, how much he cares about the quality of service and product that he is giving to clients is outstanding. And I've learned so much from him. And how quickly I wanted him back for a second podcast was a no-brainer to me, but was shocking as well to me in the fact that I wasn't expecting the first one to be so good and so in depth. He opened up a lot more than I thought he would. And I think both of those, if you haven't listened to them yet, are super quality. Even listening back to them, I learned a lot. Number 2 is Adam. Adam is a kid. I call him a kid because he's younger than me and I'm allowed to do that now. Being a 29-year-old, talking down to 26-year-olds. Adam is a very high energy guy, and sometimes how much energy he has comes off as immature. And I've never really had that in-depth of a conversation with him. It's mostly been like real estate client focused. So I was surprised with all the knowledge and experience that he's had through other ventures that he's done in his life. And I think it added a ton to the podcast, but it also made me respect the situation that he's in now. Obviously I know how hard it is to get out of your first year or 2 in real estate, but knowing where he's coming from and how hard he's working, it definitely surprised me, but definitely made me respect him and his background a little bit more.
All right, final question. So where do you want to see this podcast 1 year from today?
Oh my God, this is a great question.
Goal?
This is a king question. If you've listened to the introduction of this podcast, I have some big goals for it. I want to be at 10,000 views an episode in a short period of time. I think that's achievable because of the quality of guests that are coming up in the new year. We have, Carl knows, but
oh yeah,
you guys don't yet. We've got some phenomenal people coming up. And can I share who they are?
Oh yeah, go for it.
Okay. So one of them is a Team Canada cyclist who is going to be she's got some really cool athletic experience. Plus she's started her own business in the last few years and is crushing it. So she's going to be awesome to talk to. One of them is literally a rock star, Carl. Think of the definition of a rock star. This dude is it. If you Google his name or YouTube his name, Flavio Cirillo, YouTube his name, the crowd size that he's playing in front of, the videos of him. He's a drummer for a very popular country band, Dallas Smith. he is the definition of a rock star. And I've seen him live. I've seen Dallas Smith live, and Flavio crushed it. Like he's such an entertaining guy. He's a great talker. He's got a ton of experience in that industry, and he is a rock star.
I'm excited.
Then I've also got a couple more awesome ladies coming in. One played university basketball in the States. She was a very good player in her conference. Now she has started a women's training program for girls wanting to play in the States at the high school level here in BC. And she took a warehouse, built a gym in it, and that's her training facility. She's going to be really cool to talk to. And then also a lady who was I don't know, do you call them DJs when they're on the radio? I guess you call them a DJ. A DJ on one of the popular radio stations here in Vancouver now has kind of transitioned into a fitness, nutrition related business, has an awesome Instagram following, does a ton of stuff on social. She's going to be really cool to talk to. And there's more. So we did some really cool marketing videos early in 2018. The video is called The Perfect Day. If you haven't watched it, check it out on YouTube. It has about 210,000 views, which is pretty cool for us because we weren't expecting it to do that well. So Nick is his name. He started the company of the marketing company that we used. And he lives in Toronto. He's coming out to Vancouver in January, so we're going to have him on the podcast. He's got some other ventures going on outside of the media company. I think he runs a restaurant. Like he does a bunch of different stuff, so he's going to be a really cool guy to talk to. And he's like early 30s. Yeah, we have a long list of people. What was the question?
Where do you want to see the podcast 1 year from now?
It's still the same goal. Like I haven't altered the goals at all. I want the content on the podcast, the experiences that I share with other entrepreneurial type people, to encourage, to help other younger entrepreneurial type people get through those first few tough years. I want, I want our experiences to show that this entrepreneurial lifestyle is not glamorous all the time. It can be if you work your butt off and you can get through those tough times mentally. But I want to share my story. I want other people to have a platform to share their story as well. And for whatever reason, that 10,000 view per episode, 10,000 download per episode number is a big goal of mine. I have a few big goal guests that I think are a ways off, but who knows?
One day.
Anything else, Carl?
No, that's everything.
I love the Q&A, guys. Please send me your questions. I love this shit. This is fun. It was a blast.
That was good.
Let's do this again.
We will, for sure.
All right.
Hopefully with some actual questions from fans.
Are you a fan?
I am. I'm a huge fan.
Okay, well, what the hell? This is a fan question. Fan questions.
Insider fan.
Hit me up on Instagram, guys. I'd love to hear your questions. Love to hear your feedback. Denny.Dumas. Later.